All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and go over all the range units in Conquerors Blade and rank them from OP to not worth the barrack slot. So let's just jump right into this. And the first one is Archer Militia. Now, I remember using these as a new player, but not much more after that. So where would we see Archer Militia in this tier list? Honestly, I don't think they're worth the barrack slot. Once you get to some of the better archer units, you don't really need to use them anymore. I don't know if anyone uses them. So if you guys want to share what you guys think, I honestly don't think they're worth it. Yeah, is that easy? Is that an easy one? Okay, cool. We'll go ahead and throw that there. Let's keep moving along. All right, so next one is Black Dragon Archers. Now, this is a mercenary unit. You get the exemplar. Is that exemplar bonus? Yeah. So this is something you could use in place of. Like, how much are they? See how much they're worth in game really quick. Let's take a look. Oh, there we go. Let's take a look in game. I want to see how much they're actually worth in here. They're a mercenary unit, and they are. I just want to see their details. No, I want to check them out. I guess we'll go to unit tree and check them there. They are. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Okay, so these guys are worth 100 leadership. Do you guys think they're worth it at all? 250k, they are taking a piss. Even woodcutters can do better. D useless. D at max. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I haven't used them, so I don't know if they can actually do anything. D, not like, are they worth the barrack slot at all or no? Like, is between D and not worth the barrack slot? Nah, they're still used. Okay, I mean they're 100 leadership. Honestly, I would be bringing Namkhans instead because Namkhans are what, 135? I'd have to look. Let's go. Namkhans are my favorite. And they are 180. Sorry, 180. Still worth. So they suck. So D for the money. Okay, so because they're a mercenary unit, they actually get bumped up from not being useless to actually somewhat being worth it. So okay, that's fair. We can do that. I'm okay with that. We can put them in D. Let's do that. The exemplar bonus is huge. You get the extra XP, bronze, all that good stuff. Honor. So let's go ahead and take a look at Demesne Arbalists. So I see people use Demesne Arbalists here and there. They're not super impressive, but they can break block and stuff fairly easy. I would say they're right there with the crossbow Rattan Marksmen, like on the actual crossbow damage T3s. Now, where would we put them though? C? Oh, that was a lot of C's right away. How much are they leadership wise? Just really quick. I want to look. Units, and then let's go to unit tree. Stay in this one for a minute. So they're right here. They're worth 180. Wow. So they're the same cost as Namkhan Archers. So again, I of course would be bringing Namkhan Archers over these guys just because of the bleed and whatnot. But do you guys actually see these being used over Namkhans at all? Like, well, I guess you got to compare it to the crossbows and then compare it to all overall. Compared to crossbows, these guys are. Would you use these over Rattan Marksmen? Let's see here. Let's see some details. They're shield breakers. So that's cool. The unit is skilled at penetrating enemy armor. So that's something that Rattan Marksmen don't have. We can't compare anything to Namkhans, otherwise we wouldn't have a good archer. Yeah, this is true. Let's compare them to crossbows. So their biggest competition would be Rattan Marksmen. So one thing they have over them is shield breakers. Penetrating shots. Crossbows can penetrate the first target and injure another behind it. So they can double hit. They can double hit with their crossbows. So we still think D. I see a lot of Ds. That's fair. I don't see them used a lot, so I have to ask. Let's go ahead and place them in there. Why do I keep exiting units? Stay in units. All right, so let's take a look. So we will put these guys in D. I will broken. All right, so for Demesne Archers. Demesne Archers, what do we think of them? Do you guys use them? Are they not worth the barrack slot? I don't see them used too often. It's like not worth D. Yeah, a lot of archers are kind of bleh right now. There's some really good archers, but then there's some really bad ones too. Yeah, I don't see why you would use them. I agree with you guys. I'm gonna say they're not worth right now. I don't see people using these much at all. Let's keep moving. We're gonna get through this list pretty quick. Demesne Arquebusiers. Now, Demesne Arquebusiers aren't bad. They have poor accuracy, but they actually can do pretty good damage. Like, you have to compare them to Ironcap Archers. That's the only thing you can really compare it to. There's no other T3. Well, Jannisaries. There's Jannisaries. How would you compare them to Jannisaries? Is what I would ask. Would you so Jannisaries are that much better? Ironcaps are better. Okay. Worse, of course. Okay. So what do we think? Not worth the barrack slot or D? Go ahead and type that in. Let me know. Whatever majority votes, I'll throw them in whichever one you guys think. Oh, we got D. Okay. Ironcap put up a fight even a late game. That's cool. Okay. That's good to know. D because they're a good starter unit. Okay. Broken. I will. After this. After the tier list. Let's see here. So sad they're my best Stees. Hey, don't worry. You will get to better units. So we're definitely seeing D. I see a lot of Ds. We'll place them there. Thanks for your help on that. All right. So what do we think of Demesne Crossbowmen? I've never used them. Like, people don't even like using the Demesne Arbalists. Like, do you guys even use the Demesne Crossbowmen? Does anyone use them? Totally D. Not worth. A lot of not worth. Okay, that seems like an easy one. Okay, I got you guys. I got you. All right, let's talk about Falconetti Gunners. Falconetti Gunners are definitely worth. So where do we place them though? They can deal with cav because they have a stagger or knockdown with their shots. Ammo, their ammo's not crazy, but it's not horrible. It's not like Kriegs where it's just like out pretty quick. Their accuracy is not bad when you go top tree on Falconettis. We can take a look at their unit tree. Some people like going bottom tree on them also. So we'll take a look at that really quick. So in my barracks, I have these bad boys right here. So you get 10 and they're worth 335 leadership. I would have to work on their stuff a little bit, but I went top tree for the accuracy nodes. Once you get the accuracy nodes going, they actually become very efficient. You go bottom if you want to be like up close and just blasting people in the face. That's what bottom tree's for. I like using them ranged because it actually adds faster reload, and you get a lot more blunt damage on the top. So despite the speed, ammo, and health, if you play them right, you shouldn't even have to worry about them. Keep them at supply point. And it matters on what you're trying to shoot at. That's true. Valley Fortress, tell me how to defend A point versus Falconation. Yeah, this is true. So they do like to use Falconettis up on that top by C point a lot when people are attacking A. So that is fair. I see them used a lot in territory wars to help block gateways and also shoot at siege towers. They're pretty much artillery units, which is also great. But the biggest counter to them are longbowmen, and you're starting to see a lot more longbowmen just to deal with Falconettis. Are they OP, or would we say they're actually like an A? I definitely think they're higher up for sure. I'd like to know. I see people that use Falconettis religiously, like they use them every match. So, you guys think they're overpowered for what they can do? They do dive fairly quickly, but they actually move fairly quick. They're not that slow. They're very meta right now. Agreed. But are they overpowered? That's the question. What would define them as overpowered? Like, would you say, I'm trying to think, because like you have to keep them at a distance, right? If anyone runs up to them, they have a huge disadvantage. Huge disadvantage if any units get on top of them, they instantly die. Let's just say Pavise, for example, another T5. If units run up to them, they at least have a shield. They can like fend them off. They have a shield bash that can kind of knock people away from them, and they can shoot them. Falconettis just like look like deers in headlights, right? So I think because of that lack of defense, it kind of brings them down a little bit from overpowered. Like if Cav gets on top of them, they disappear, right? I think their range, their accuracy, and their utility of like stagger and knockdown definitely brings them up to an A. So I think A would be ideal for them. I don't think they're overpowered. Definitely great units though. Definitely amazing for territory wars. Very meta right now. Also with all the purple doctrines, I'm sure there's a few different things you can do with them now. So that's exciting. They are fairly slow. This is true. Let's go ahead and jump to the next one, Imperial Archers. Now, Imperial Archers with all the new epic doctrines, I feel like they have a place again, but they are still super expensive archers. They're expensive. Now, but they, with the new accuracy stuff, they actually can snipe. They can snipe heroes like they're nothing. They can snipe heroes so quickly. They have so much accuracy, and their fire rate is actually pretty good. The biggest issue with them is defense, but with any archer, you're going to have defense issues. The whole point of archers is you put them back, you let them shoot in. Longbows obviously do fairly well against Imperial Archers, or any archers really, but I feel like Imperial Archers have enough accuracy that they can actually fight a Longbowman because they can shoot back. The problem with Namkhans is they don't shoot fast enough, and then they also don't have the accuracy to fight against a longbow, but Imperial Archers do. So I would say they're between C and A. I mean, obviously that would be a B, but like, are they like a A minus? Are they a C plus? Are they actually just a B? Help me with figure out where they're at, because compared to Namkhans for like leadership costs, I don't see them actually taking place of Namkhans. Imperials do a lot of damage, but there's no bleed stacks. They just are really good at sniping. Really good sniping archers. They can do a lot of damage to Namkhans. If there's a fight between Imperial Archers and Namkhans, Imperial Archers would win. But really, you want to use archers against infantry and maybe even cav if you're on a wall and they can't get to them. So they actually can counter Namkhans pretty well. But where does that put them? They have a lot of potential, but they are some of the squishiest archers for sure. You can two-shot them fairly easily as a longbow, or even just one-shot them. There are a lot of A's. There are drops right now. There are no drops right now, Corn. I should say B. The leadership cost is too high for them to be A. That's one thing I did mention in the beginning. Like, they are a high leadership cost archer. And their biggest competition would be Namkhans, maybe even Prefecture, and Vassel Longbows. Vassel Longbows have a little bit more range. So there's, it gets iffy there. But I honestly think they're a B plus, if anything. I would not put them in the same bracket as Falconettis. Like an overall view, they can't do anything really to cav, like unless they have an advantage on like a wall or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're not. I mean, they can snipe heroes. They have great kill potential. They don't have any great utilities. They do have Botkin arrow, which, yeah, it's not bad. It does lower their fire rate though. Well, their shooting rate. So you're kind of give or take with that. There are some new abilities with the epic doctrines that make them pretty good. Hate you all on B, really. B just because of the leader. Yeah, I think the leadership cost hurts them. That's like the main thing that hurts them from being an A. If they were a little bit less, I feel like they would actually go straight to A. I feel like they're a B. They're a really good archer, though, 100%. I'm not saying they're bad. You just got to look at them as an overall view. I don't mean to piss people off, but like we got to look at them as an overall view for archers. And they're definitely a B. If they had a few more advantages over other archers, like maybe they could get bleed or something, like they would be OP. So different things. Now let's go ahead and jump into Imperial Arquebusiers. Now these are my favorite muskets. I did just make a video about them about 2 weeks ago. I've been wanting to for a while. So Imperial Arquebusiers are probably the highest DPS muskets there are, with their volley fire. Again, I said muskets, not ranged, because I feel like Pavise are pretty high too. So a lot of people saying A. Okay. Now their volley fire is pretty devastating. They're one of the most devastating units in the game, like how much damage they can do within about 5-10 seconds. Obviously Cav with their charges are pretty devastating, but right outside of that, I would say Imperial Arquebusier volley fire is crazy when it comes to damage. If they can land their shots, they can break shields pretty quick, so that helps also. They are countered pretty easily. The problem with them is they're countered so easily and they're squishy. How do you deal with that, right? Now, compared to Tercios and Kriegs, I love Kriegs. The only problem with Kriegs is their ammo. Their accuracy is amazing, and their damage is pretty good. The only thing Imperials are better at is DPS per second, but Kriegs are still super good. Yeah, I think it's because of their vulnerability that they kind of come down a bit. I wouldn't put them over Imperial Archers. I feel like they're in the same boat where like they easily die to longbows, but they have a really good kill potential on heroes. So I feel like they're in the same boat, but one's an archer, one's a musket. So I would like to say they're a B. I don't see them in the C category because of how high their DPS, and they're actually used in territory wars. They're actually very good if you can have any type of pikes or shields in front of them, and if there's tons of cav, the Imperial Arquebusiers will help clean up the point. So that's something I will mention. Longbow kill all range easy. Oh, we'll get to them. Let's go ahead and jump into Incendiary Archers. Now I'm starting to see them more because of the fire, but what else are they good for? I don't really use them, so I'd love to hear your guys' input. I would love your input on Incendiary Archers. Like, where do they belong? You're like a C? Okay. At best B. Okay. Yeah, I don't see them in the same grouping as Imperial Archers, but like for their cost, are they worth it? Like, are they the same cost as Namkhans is the question. So let's take a look at that. Because they're being compared to Namkhans. So let's see here. Unit tree, Incendiary Archers. They are 190 compared to Namkhans, which are 180. So why are we using these? What is the point of using these over Namkhan is what we need to know. Fire has a very long cooldown, but they have a decent damage output. Okay. A horrible pick compared to Namkhans. D, not worth. Okay. They are fairly easy to get, you know. So for like a beginner archer, they're not bad. So they're definitely worth getting, but are they worth using over Namkhans? Not really. Just because of the damage potential with Namkhans. No, we are comparing T3 archers to T3 archers is exactly what we're doing. You have to compare the same archers in the same tier. D, but they can counter some important units like Rattan Rangers and Keshigs. Rattan Rangers and Keshigs are not meta right now. They are anti-meta. So it's like you would be bringing them on the chances of not seeing either of those units. They were great like 2 seasons ago or a season ago against Keshigs. But now, since Keshigs aren't really being used, I see them falling back down to maybe like a C or D. So go ahead, guys. Give me some more letters. I see a lot of C's. I see some D's. We're thinking, what are we thinking? And you guys seem like you're in the middle here. C. Let's take a look. I think they're a C. Yeah, I think they're better than these units for sure because of their fire. So I can see that. I think we can definitely put them in C. Start filling that C up a little bit, right? That way we actually have a scale now, like going from Archer Militia all the way to Falconettis. You can kind of see how we're scaling. So let's go ahead and talk about Ironcap Archers. Ironcap Archers, I don't think people use them. You guys go ahead and share with me if you do, but I don't really see them. They are a low tier unit that it's good for new players to learn how to use archers, but I don't know if they're actually worth using. If anyone's new in here, do you guys use Ironcap Archers at all? Do you see potential there? Not worth. That's all just for beginners. Yeah, I think you can easily get like Incendiary Archers or like muskets early game that you don't really need to worry about T2s. B, because low leadership costs, good damage. Can put up a fight against late game units, low supply. You think they can put up against late game units? I don't see that. You sure? I don't know, man. Can unlock noms or like you can just get better archers fairly quick. Like I just don't know why you would use them. But you want to check their vet tree? We can check their vet tree. We can look at them. If you guys want to take a look at them really quick, let's go for it. Units. We are talking about Ironcap Archers. Their leadership is 135, so all you need is 35 more to get Namkhans. Let's see details. Their health is 1k, which is super low. Okay. They have pretty much no defense. They have pretty good piercing damage. Penetration's not quite there, but they have some piercing damage. Adaptive. The unit can acquire a great number of veterancy upgrades. Okay. So let's see here. It can get to level what? 15. So let's see here. You can go for more soldiers. While attacking, unit has a chance of shooting flame arrows. Okay. Could become a flame unit. Increases ammo. Adds soldiers. Okay. Increases movement speed by 15%. Okay. For 8 seconds. So they get a sprint. Which, okay. I don't see anything too crazy here. They have increased fire rates. Unlocks arrow rain. Okay. Is arrow rain any good on these guys? Like, they are cross. What? So, is arrow rain any good on these guys? That's the only thing I would have to know. They increase fire accuracy. Yes, but still, they are better than the rest below them. All right, that's fair. I see the argument, but I just don't know what they can do. I'm gonna have to base it off what you guys think. Do you guys think D then? Yes, obviously because they're taking that 1k damage and rapid shooting. Okay. There's an argument here. I will put them in D because some people use them. So maybe they are worth. And sometimes they're not worth. Like I'm willing to make that argument. But compared to you have to compare to other T2s. if they actually can do pretty well with damage and they have some abilities that can do something, maybe. Okay. I think we'll put D. Just for now. They can kill serfs after 1 minute. That's rough. I will leave them there. I will leave them in D for right now. I would have to play them to get more insight on what they can do. I believe you guys, but if some people think they are worth, give them a D. That's fine. Let's talk about Ironcap Arquebusiers. Now, with Ironcaps, you guys mentioned that they actually can do some damage, and they're actually somewhat worth. So why do you guys say that? Let's go ahead and take a look at them. B, because low leadership. Let's see here. Good damage. C, when max. Okay. They are worth. Okay. That helps. B, because low leadership. I think you're talking about the other units. What do we think of Ironcap Arquebusiers? Let's take a look at their unit tree. Let's see here. I don't think I have them, so we're gonna have to go in here. Let's look at their attributes. Oh wow, they actually have decent damage. Piercing damage 2.4k. Piercing armor pen 2.3k. That's pretty good for a T2. Not bad. So the unit is armed with firearms such as arquebuses and fire lances. They offer excellent damage and armor penetration, but poor accuracy. Poor shots. The unit has poor accuracy. Okay, that's literally the same thing you said above. Slow shot. The unit has a slow rate of fire due to irksome or complex reloading procedure. Okay, they do have an attack area, which is good. They have some interesting formations. The damage is good. Their defense is actually that's pretty decent. They start with 2k health. Let's see here. You get more soldiers here. Increases damage dealt to infantry by 15%. Not bad. Increases bombs block break. Wait, is there an ability called bombs? Adds 2 more soldiers. Unit supply increases movement speed. Adds 2 more soldiers. Okay. Fire rate increase. Fire rate increase. Increases damage. Increases fire rate. Oh, so this top line looks pretty good. Critical value up to 8%. Yeah, I would think top line maybe. So they look like they have potential here. They do have fire rate upgrades on... okay, let's take a look. So they have upgrades here too. So each level increases Ironcap's piercing damage. And they don't really need too much more damage, but you can. It looks cheap enough. Increases the rate of fire. Okay. Now how much are they worth? 145. Okay, so they're actually cheaper than Namkhans. Alright, that's fair. Do they actually have kill potential though? For a B, like what's their kill potential? They do have high damage, but like it's pretty easy to kill them. We got 2 people saying B. We got 1 person say C. Well, yeah, they do have bad accuracy, so that's what I'm curious about. Like, are they missing all their shots? Like, they can have all the damage in the world, but if they're missing their shots, they're not really worth it. So, let me reload this really quick. They miss a lot. Okay. I mean, with the mix of what everyone's saying, it's definitely at a C. Definitely at a C at that point. You don't use them to snipe. Well, no, but they're muskets. You need them landing their shots. If they're not landing their shots, you have issues. They are any green units or below going to make better than C. All right, so first off, guys, they're compared overall. All right, so just to correct the way you're looking at this is an overall view of the unit based on their leadership, based on their damage, based on their defense, and their utility. So it does not matter if a golden tier is placed in A or OP all the way to not worth, because it's based off everything about the unit. So there could be a T2 that makes it to A because of its overall performance, guys. Like, stop comparing T2 units, green units, to T5 units. Like, don't do that. You need to compare it to the other T2s, and then you can compare it to like the blue units above, and you can compare it to the white units underneath it. Don't just go ahead and compare a T2 unit to a golden tier unit, because there's a huge leadership difference, guys. So take a second and just recognize that certain units that are lower tier actually still have a place, even though they aren't as good as T5s. It's an overall ranking, guys. So with that said, where do you guys see these guys? I'd rather take 2 units of T1 to take this T2 musket. B. I'm getting B's and D's, and then like people arguing the other points, which is fine. I think to average it out, we're gonna have to say C plus. We're gonna have to say C plus because everyone's arguing back and forth on this, and we don't want to spend all day on this. I think C. I think a C. Just to be fair to everyone. I get it. But I think they end up in the C category. And I think it's because of their accuracy. Based on what you guys told me. And that's fair. That's fair. Even if they don't play it, maybe they play against it and they, always beat it. So with that said, people are saying B that do play it. So you might have a bias towards it if you do play it, right? So you were like, oh no, it's way better. So we're going to pull it into the middle and leave it right where it is. That's how I can be fair about it. Let's go ahead and start talking about Jannisaries. Now, Jannisaries are actually one of my favorite cheap T3 units. I haven't been using them lately because I've been enjoying some other units. Now, for their costs, I usually prefer Namkhans just because of the arc and how much damage Namkhans can do compared to Jannisaries overall. But Jannisaries actually don't do bad because they have pretty good burst damage. Now, I do see them as a affordable T3. So maybe instead of having Namkhans, you want something. Jannisaries are like a little tankier. Let's go ahead and look at their health. Let's take a look at them. I feel like they're a little tankier than Namkhans, which might pull them up a bit. So let's take a look. Units. I'm gonna take a look at this. What the hell? Whisper. Get out of there. Oh no, that was on screen. I have them in here. There. All right, so they are worth 195, so they're 15 more than Namkhans. But let's look at their. Let's see here. They have a daze effect, which is cool. They actually do pretty good damage. Let's take a look at their. So they have 4K health here. What else do they have? Piercing defense. They have they have pretty good defense. They have almost 350 here for these, and then they have about 3K piercing damage and 3K piercing armor pen, and their accuracy is pretty good. So these guys are definitely above a C. I would say B, around a B. I wouldn't say A. I mean, for their leadership cost, I don't know if that really hurts them, or because it's nice to have a T3 Janissary that's cheaper. Demesne are 200, so obviously they're going to rank a bit ahead because they have better accuracy, and I feel like their damage is a bit better. I think a solid B. I'm with you guys on that. I agree with you. So let's go ahead and let's drop that one. That was a good one. Easy B. All right, let's talk about it's Kriegsrats, right? But Kriegs are one of my favorite muskets. The biggest issue with Kriegs that hurts them the most is ammo, but I believe there's an ammo doctrine now. Is there an ammo doctrine, an epic ammo doctrine for muskets yet? Because if there is, it kind of fixes them. I'd have to look at all the epic doctrines. I have not seen an ammo doctrine yet for muskets, But if there ever is, that would fix them. Only accuracy. Okay, well, they don't really need more accuracy. They have great accuracy. The only thing they need is ammo. So with no epic doctrines to help their ammo, definitely pulls them down a little bit. But how far it pulls them down is a good question. I can definitely see them in B still. They are very, I wouldn't say very tanky, but they're tanky for a musket. They're not as tanky as tercios, but they are definitely tanky muskets. They also do really good piercing damage with melee. I don't know if anyone's ever actually used them in melee, but if anyone gets close to them, a hero, anything, just hit V, and they will do a lot of damage. They will do a lot of damage to heroes. They have so much penetration that they'll actually start melting heroes. So that's something that pulls them back up a bit. You know, the ammo hurts them, but their melee ability brings them back up. Their accuracy brings them back up. Their damage is pretty good. So I would definitely say about a B. About a B. I think they're right there with Imperial Arquebusiers. They kind of balance out. The only thing that hurts them is their ammo. The thing that hurts Imperial Arquebusiers is their health and their defense. So they kind of reverse here. So that's the give or take with the two. All right, let's talk about Levy Bowmen. Do we use these at all? Do we use them? I don't think they're worth. But if there are still questions you guys want to ask about the way we're doing the tiers, we will talk more about it afterwards. I am trying to get through it a little faster than I did infantry. Infantry took like 2 hours. I'm not trying to rush, but like I just want to kind of get through it a little faster, so the video's not crazy long. So we already judged Levy Bowmen. They are not worth. We are on the infamous Namkhan Archers. Everyone in this chat can say that they've died to Namkhan Archers probably at least once. At least once. Their bleed damage is just so strong. There's no other unit that does it like them. Their health isn't bad. Like their defense isn't bad for an archer unit. They're fine. Their range isn't bad. You can add more range to them with epic doctrines. You can add more ammo now. Like adding the ammo now to Namkhans is crazy. Just imagine all the bleed stacks you can get just constantly shooting at something. They are so strong. And I agree with you guys. You can do arrow rain with them also. Epic doctrines only made them better. Way better. I'm kind of shocked the bleed hasn't been nerfed yet. After all these seasons, not one touch to their bleed. It is by far the most OP thing that's on a archer. So with them still being 100% what they originally were, they are definitely an OP unit. 100%, guys. I'm totally with you guys on that. That's an easy one. But for the next one, we're going to talk about Pavise Crossbowmen. Now, with the new doctrines, these guys are actually becoming super meta. Now, I'm not sure where we ranked them last time, but they are definitely, I would think they're a solid A at this point. I don't think they're overpowered. But with the doctrines, they definitely came up from like a CB into the A class because of how strong they got with their shield formation, and then also their fire rate can be increased now with epic doctrines. You can do more damage with your crossbow. Their piercing damage is gross. Their penetration's pretty high. They're really good at killing heroes. Their accuracy is amazing. Like you can run around on a horse and they'll still snipe you. So their accuracy is probably one of the highest in the game. I know people would want to say OP, but I think it's only because of the doctrines that really do that. Without the doctrines, they're definitely like a BC, but I'm willing to bring them up to an A because of the capabilities. Not quite OP, but I definitely think an A unit. I think they're right there with Falconettis. I think that's fair, right? You guys think that's fair? I think it's fair. All right, so Pavise Crossbowmen are a strong A. Let's talk about Prefecture Archers. I do not use them. I need your guys' opinions on this. Prefecture Archers are what right now? Are they worth using? Love Prefectures? Okay. We got a C. I don't use them. I have no idea. I've always just used Namkhans. When it comes to T3 archers, I just use Namkhans or Jannisaries. Like, those are the two I use. I'm not big into range is probably the main reason. We got D, C. Any other inputs, guys? Don't diss my prefectures. We got C. I mean, Pine not worth. Look who made it to the party. Pine's about to hurt people's feelings. No. I don't see them too often. That's all I can go off of. So you got to compare them to Namkhans, right? Like, what do they do better than Namkhans is my question. What is it they do that's better than Namkhans? That's the biggest thing we have to compare to. I know Namkhans are overpowered, yes, but they're a T3 unit. So are Prefecture Archers. Let's look at their cost really quick. Let's go and take a look at their cost. So right here, Namkhans are 180, right? And then Prefecture are, where are you? 185. They cost more than Namkhan Archers. God, Namkhans are so overpowered. So do prefectures have more range? Do they have better accuracy? What is it they're beating them at? They have pretty good ammo increase here. On the bottom, units may fire flaming arrows when using arrow rain. Okay. What's up, Lion? Not worth. Rip. Arrow rain and flame. Okay, but you can put arrow rain on... You can put the arrow rain on Namkhans now, so you can't really... But I mean, you can add arrow rain to Namkhans now, right? So like they can't beat them on that, can they? So what is it? Just flame? That's the only advantage. It's almost like a disadvantage because bleed is way stronger than flame at this point. So do they do anything better than Namkhans? Anything? I'm willing to put them at D or C, but you gotta realize there's certain archers in the game that kind of ruin it for other archers. That's the way I'll put it. There are archers in the game that ruin it for other archers because they're just so good. We don't tell developers how to make archers, right? Like, I mean, of course we want to balance, but Namkhans have been overpowered for like the last 4 seasons. There's nothing beating them when it comes to T3s. I mean, Jannisaries aren't bad when it comes to a musket around the same cost, but when it comes to archers, they're more expensive. They don't have the bleed stacks. They have about the same range. They have about the same accuracy. Prefecture Archers could have potential to be B or C without Namkhans in the game. Exactly. So it's an overall score, guys. I know it's unfair, but you have to compare them to the same tier to actually give them a fair rating. So I'm going to go ahead and put them. Let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and put them. I'm going to put them in C. All right, I'll put them in C. And the reason why is they're only 5 more leadership than Namkhan. So if you're going more T3 archers, I think Prefecture Archers would be the second one that you pick. So this is the only reason why I'm giving them a C. If you're going more archers, which you should only bring 1 archer or less to sieges, please. I would say that you would bring Prefecture Archers if you already have Namkhans in your lineup. That's it. That's the only reason, guys. Only reason. Let's move on. Yeah, I'm being so nice right now. I'm being so generous. Zim, stop it. All right, so Corn Berserker knows. Yet I dealt with this morning. Pavise everywhere. All right, let's talk about Rattan Marksmen. Now, Rattan Marksmen are one of the first units I got in the game, and I absolutely loved them from season 2 to season 3. But with how strong Namkhans were, they kind of lost their place. Like, they have a really good fire rate, but did something happen to them where I feel like they used to do more damage, and then all of a sudden they just stopped doing as much damage. I don't know if something broke on them. Their armor pen is not really high, so they don't break through a lot, but they can kill serfs all day, right? they can also do fair amount of damage to siege towers, which so can Namkhans, so can a lot of archers. So you can't really use that. They have a really fast fire rate. Okay, that's what they got. Their damage is not super impressive. Killing heroes is pretty hard for them. They're not killing tanky heroes. They can kill a dual blade, but a dual blade will probably take half of them out. The biggest issue I see with them is reload time. Their reload time is like 2 or 3 seconds. And you can correct me on this, but their reload is actually, it takes too long. I still think they're a decent unit. I think they're worth, they're a decent crossbow for their cost. What? Oh, we're talking about Rattan Marksmen. It's right here. It's right here. We're talking about Rattan Marksmen. So they crit paladins for 65. They don't do anything to anything like T3 and above, guys. Like, they might be able to kill some T3s, but condos will destroy them. I mean, most T3s will destroy them, so they don't do well across the T3 category, so it kind of brings them down. Their reload time brings them down. The only thing I see bringing them up is the damage they can do with their burst onto towers. They can kill T1s fairly quickly. They do have flame, or you can go poison, I think, so that's up to you, but a lot of people go flame. Poison stops heal. Well, yeah, but that's if they're getting the shots in. I think they're a solid D or C. Can you guys just give me some letters? Yeah, I don't know how long their stacks are. Also, I mean, they're not really gonna have a place in season 7. Not with all the new infantry units. They're just gonna get ran over. Do we want to give them a solid C or D? I see a lot of C's. I see 2 D's. Oh, we're about even. We have about, oh, okay, we have one more C. And you guys are not making this easy. I think C. I'm going to be a little biased because you're my first range unit. They're kind of like prefectures, right? They don't quite do anything quite as good as Namkhans and stuff like that. But for a second unit, they're not the worst. They have a certain utility to them that isn't bad. They both have flame, right? But their penetration is lacking. If you can get their penetration up, they can actually probably do a little bit of damage. Their burst is decent, but their reload sucks. So I'll put them in C. That's me being biased, though. I'm gonna admit it. Those were one of my first range units, so we'll put them in C. Stop dissing my prefectures. Let's talk about Rattan Vipers. Rattan Vipers actually got a buff this last season. Rattan Vipers got a little bit of a buff. Where do you guys see them? I mean, I see people using them here and there, but I've never used them. I don't even have them unlocked. Where do you guys see them? Remove T2 musket from C. Forget. Oh, dude. Let's see here. Never seen them, never used them, not worth. Cry about. Yes, Falcos are OP for me. We'll talk about the tier list after. Let's get through this. Let's get through it. They got buffed, but did anyone start using them? I don't know. I don't think so. Hey, everyone's allowed to have their opinion, guys. Like, don't, you guys can talk about where it is on the tier list, but don't bash each other. You can talk about the units. Don't bash each other. That's all I ask. All right, let's see your D. You want to check the veterancy? We can check the veterancy. Let's check them out. It's getting heated, man. We bring up range units and everyone just loses their shit. I'm not much of a range player, so I'm really hoping you guys can help me with this. So let's take a look. I have these guys, so we can look at my bear. No, actually, let's look in the unit tree. They're in Rattan. They're right here. Now, they are worth 195. They're more expensive than prefectures. Let's see what they have. They have an increase of fire rate, armor penetration, increases weapon range by 10 meters. So they got a little range increase here. I'm not sure if you go top or bottom. Poison effects can stack up to 5 times. So this is something they might use, but they cost more than Namkhans, and poison effect is about the same as bleed. So, I mean, I don't know how well that poison works. Target may be slowed by attacks from this. And aren't you allowed to heal through poison, but you can't heal through bleed? Like, that's my question. Rattan Vipers, too much leadership. Yeah, they are expensive, guys. They have a movement speed increase here. Higher chance of inflicting bonus hits, whatever that means. Target may take sustained... What? Oh. Poison. So this adds poison damage too? Okay. So you have this. Target may be slowed by attacks from this unit. Okay. So they have some utility. Okay. Hi, kitty. Let's take a look here. I feel like you guys are losing your shit, so let's get through this. Now, I honestly think they're D. I don't see them being used over Namkhans ever. They're way too expensive. They're more expensive than most of the other T3 units. I honestly see them at D. I think they're worth because of poison, you know, like as an early unit, if you don't want to go do all the Namkhan, if you don't want to do all the Namkhan challenges right away and you just want something that has, you know, poison stacks or something, maybe you go for Rattan Vipers. That's the only reason. So yeah, for now, we'll leave them right there. Let's talk about Stag Deathdealers. So this is a mercenary unit. I think it's actually one of the more expensive mercenary units, probably the most expensive. Let's take a look. So we're talking about sea stags really quick. I moved it up so you guys can see it. I know my camera's in the way, so I apologize. I moved it up. You guys can see it. Hey, baby. Loving this. 400k silver, I think. Yeah, we can take a look. Let's take a look. So unit. So we're going to take a look really quick at these guys. Mercenary, or actually we can do it in the unit tree. Yeah, they're going to be down here. So here's the stags. They are 100 leadership. Okay, that's not bad. They only have one veterancy node tree. It doesn't look like anything special. Let's look at their attributes. They have exemplar. Firearms units, arm of firearms. These offer, okay, mediocre accuracy, so a little bit better accuracy than Demesne. Their damage is actually not bad. Piercing damage 2.6k, and then they have piercing armor pens 2.5k. That's not horrible, but their defense is kind of low. Defense is fairly low. Hi, kitty. What do you want? He wants love. So health is 1.5k. That's very low. Very low. But they are 100 leadership. Are they worth it? That's what it kind of comes down to compared to their leadership. They're about 80 leadership less than Namkhans and most other archers in T3. So what do you guys think? Not worth D. I think because of the leadership, they actually might have some room. I don't know. I'd have to test it some more. But I think they might be worth checking out for sure. So let's go ahead and I think D. I'm gonna call that one. I think D would be a fair assumption for them. I would check them out for 100 leadership. See how well they do, just because of their cost. Most range would be Longbowmen and Falconettis, most likely. All right, let's talk about Flamethrowers and where we see them on this tree. We are on Flamethrowers. Now, Flamethrowers came out last season, and they were played for a bit. Like, people were using them, but they do stop cav, but they are very squishy. Very squishy. They are impressive for what they can do with flames, but they have to have some kind of shields helping them. So that hurts them big time. They can't just stand there and, you know, do what they got to do. They actually have to have some kind of defense. I mean, a short sword can easily could easily jump on them. But one thing I will say impressive about Flamethrowers is they CC heroes. So they could stop heroes and units right in their tracks. They're one of the only units out there that can CC a hero heavily. So that's one thing I would definitely consider bringing them up for. I definitely see them in like a B or A category, just because of what they can do, used correctly. But honestly, in the current meta, they just get ran over because by the time they're doing flames, they're dead. Like, no, it doesn't matter what you have. Even if you have an imp pike walk in front of them, I mean, archers can just set up and shoot them. So it's like either you try to stop cav or you try to stop archer fire. You can't stop both. So there's going to be a weakness there. I see them falling down because of that. Yeah, Falcos can definitely counter them because of their range. And Pavise also. I would say B for sure. They do stop cav. 100% they will stop cav. And I think that's what brings them up. I don't know if I'd put them in the same class as Falconetti Gunners and Crossbowmen, though. You have to compare them to Pavise and Falconettis. I don't know how you put them in an A. Like, you have to be up close with them for them to be of use. Like, they do work. Like, I'm not saying their damage is lacking. I'm not saying their CC is lacking, but their defense is definitely lacking, and their range. They're a range unit, guys. You got to consider it. You got to consider it. I feel like during the Keshig era, Flamethrowers would have been easily an OP because they would have stopped all Keshigs, right? But we got to talk about the current. We have to talk about Season 6 and how they were used. Yeah, they're great at holding points. Agreed. But you have to have something with them. They can't just stand there by themselves and hold a point. But, you know, that's the same with anything. It's easy for archers just to start shooting at them and kill them. A longbow will easily take these guys out. They have no way to defend themselves against any longbows, any short bows. They have no way to defend themselves. That really hurts them. That really hurts them. Now, I don't know. I think they're a solid B+. That's just where I see them. Convince me otherwise. But every ranged unit here can probably take the, like, think about it. Think about every ranged unit versus Flamethrowers, like just in a 1v1. Just think about it in a 1v1. Who wins that battle? Like, most of these ranged units, who wins that battle? I'm just saying, you got to compare it, you know? Like, all right, Falconettis versus Flamethrowers. Falconettis are going to win. Pavise versus Flamethrowers. Who's going to win? Crossbowmen. Like, any of these units can beat them. That's the problem. They're not. They're not. They're not designed to be played by themselves 100%. That hurts them. That's what I'm saying though. That's why, like, you're saying it yourself. That's why it hurts them. They're not there to, like, they can't just sit there and like, you can put Pavise up with their walls and just leave them there. They don't need shields. How do flamethrowers beat that? Tell me, how the hell does a flamethrower get the same rating as a crossbow that can pierce shields, that has stun on cav, that has range advantage, has accuracy advantage, like it has everything of an advantage, but somehow they go in the same tree as a crossbowman? Just tell me, please. If you can tell me why they would be in the same line as a Pavise or Falconetti, sure. Flames destroy shields. So do Pavise. Pavise can shoot through shields too. Come on. No, Pavise do not stun heroes, but they kill heroes in about 5 seconds of constant fire. Like, they have so much damage, you don't need to CC them. They'll just kill them. So, come on. You gotta give me something. Why are they an A? I just need something that would put them in the same lineup as Falconetti Gunners and Crossbow. I get flames are pretty awesome if you can get them up close and kill shields. Sure, 100%. But if you had Falconettis right there, like shooting onto where those flamethrowers were at, I don't see that happening. If you have Pavise shooting from a distance into wherever those flamethrowers are, I see the flamethrowers at a disadvantage. You have to have them covered. Well, so they are designed. So flamethrowers are designed to beat stalwarts and shield units 100%. Like all infantry, they're designed for that. And they can stop cav, but they don't stop cav 100%. They stop the front cav. And if anything else gets around them, they will die. So it's just, they have a lot of potential, but you need to use other units with them for that potential. So that hurts them. Well, all units are a team play unit. Yes, I get that, but you have to compare them to the other T5s. I knew this was going to be a hard one. So I want to talk about it, and I'm giving you my side of it, and I just need to understand why they should be an A with the other T5s. I mean, I have max flamethrowers. I don't know what the question is. I've used them plenty. I will say that they have a speed advantage. That's one thing flamethrowers do have. They're fast. That does help. Also, it matters on what servers you're on. Because I tell you right now, if you're using flamethrowers on NA, I promise you with the cav meta, they are not surviving. Yeah, I'm sure flamethrowers do really good on EU. Really good on EU. Impike plus flame plus brasho. Now you need like all these units for them to work correctly against cav. Well, yeah, of course you play setups, but when the whole team's cav, I don't see flamethrowers making a difference. Even with shields, even with pikes, I don't see them making that difference. Of course you don't use them in open ground, but you don't think cav can run around a corner? Let's make sense of this. Like, you're making arguments that the cav can do the same thing the flamethrowers can do. They can run around a corner. Like, come on. You guys got to make sense of this. Of course you can use them to an advantage of like shooting through like a door or something, but you can set up Falconettis, you can set up archers to shoot onto these units unless they have shield units. Like, you have to work with the team, which is great. I want to see teamwork, but if something doesn't go right, they easily die. Like, if they don't have that defense set up, they easily die. They easily get ran over. There's only 8 of them. I get setups make units stronger, 100%. I'm saying that that's the only reason they're actually really efficient, though. That's why they're really good. They're really good with other units. 100%. I agree with you guys. I can't make that argument. Like, yeah, they're good units, but they kind of get hurt from that too because they have to rely on that. If there's like one mistake, like a glaive runs up and knocks down all your shields and all this archer fire comes into it, what do you think's going to happen? 2 glaives come in, do a flying reaper. All it takes is two heroes, unless you get the CC on them. If you get the CC on them, good, which flamethrowers should. But on with your average user, how's it going? I'm happy to sit here and make the argument. I have to play the devil's advocate. I think they're a solid B+. They're almost A, but they're not quite an A because they can't quite do what Falconettis and Pavise do. They give a huge rage advantage over the enemy. That's just what it is. If anything, like when you're holding most points, like let's think about TWs in general. Most points are on the ground. Most points are on the ground. So that means they have to fight Cav. They have to. Most TW maps are... the first point is usually on the ground. So like every single point is usually on the ground. So like there's no huge advantage for them. Like, yeah, if they're on the wall, sure. But go ahead and tell me how many maps in TW have points on walls. Almost 0. That's not true. That's not true. You don't need flamethrowers to... Yeah. They help, for sure, they can, but you don't need flamethrowers. You need pikes. You need pikes and cav right now, is what you really need. I get that flamethrowers are really good at, like, stopping things, but that's, like, let's be real. They're being used to CC, but also cav can sit there and stun. Or not cav, but pikes. Pikes can sit there and stun cav, so... of course, if you're trying to stop like something on the walls, flamethrowers are great. Sure. I'm not saying they're bad TW units. I'm not, but they're not meta in NA right now. EU maybe. This is the big issue. EU has a different meta than NA, so I can't compare the two, honestly. I wish I could. I'm not saying they're worthless. I'm not saying that at all. It's just, it definitely brings them down a bit. Let's go ahead and talk about tertios. Now, I know tertios might have a big impact next season, but let's think about how they were used this last season. Now, tertios, I don't have them, so I'm definitely going 100% off your guys' input on this. Flamethrowers, I do have, and I have used them. That's why I was making the strong argument there. But I got to get going to school here soon. We got to finish these up. So where do you guys see tercios? So... yeah, tercios are tanky for sure. They're definitely the tankiest musket, 100%. 100%. Now, compared to other T5s, though, I don't see tercios. I don't see tercios scoring much higher than the flamethrowers. Like, flamethrowers do a lot of things that tercios can't. So you got to take that into consideration. I don't think tercios are as strong as Pavise and Falconettis, but I do see them in the BC area for last season. With the doctrines coming out, it definitely brought them up a bit because Imperial Arquebusiers have a damage performance that's higher than Tercios, and then so do Kriegs a bit. The biggest thing about Tercios is they're very tanky, and they can sit there and deal damage. Now, what could they do better than a lot of these units is the question. Solid B. Yeah. The melee on Kriegs are also really good, so it kind of like goes from Kriegs into Tercios. Their cost is a little high, but they do have their ammo, sustain. All right, solid B. Cool. I can go with that. All right, cool. Now let's talk about Vanguard Archers. Does anyone use them? Does anyone use Vanguard Archers? I'm not familiar with them. The only T3 archers I really use are Namkhans. Not worth. Used to, sort of garbage. Vanguard who? I deleted them from my barracks. Okay. Hi, hello. Hey, what's up, Bacon? Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. See, I say because of their shoot on the move. Great open world, welcome. I'm getting a lot of not worth to see, so maybe D? Are they worth at all? Let's see how much their leadership cost is. I'm gonna check this out really quick. Leadership cost for them. Archers. All right, so they're actually cheaper. They're a little cheaper than Namkhans. They're about 10 cheaper. What else they got? They got some accuracy nodes here. Huge accuracy node here. 20% increase to firing accuracy. I'm assuming you go top tree. And then you grab this on the bottom, I assume. You get 18 unit, or no, you get 30 of them. Oh, that's not bad. That's a lot of archers. Okay. They have some interesting formations, it looks like, too. They have move and fire. And they have the wing formation. Guerrillas. This unit has the ability to move and fire. That's kind of cool. That's something I haven't seen, really. So, okay. Let's take a look here. C for good movement and accuracy. Okay. I think it's around D. If you guys can come to a middle with that, like, obviously it's not a late game archer, but maybe mid game it has some potential. It's 20 leadership less than Namkhans. I can give it a D because we're getting a lot of mixed reviews here, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it at D. Let's talk about Vassel Longbowmen. Now, Vassel Longbowmen have one of the highest range archers in the game. Now, what's their potential? How do they do it better than Falconettis? How do they do it better than even Namkhans? Maybe they don't have the same range, but Namkhans have bleed compared to Vassal. Their accuracy is really good from what I've seen for Longbowmen. Do they have hero kill potential? I don't use them, so I'm asking you guys. They have pretty good pen. Is not doing better or not? Are they effectively fulfilling their role? This is true. Do they actually do well with being a high range archer that should be able to attack heroes and units? Also, how's their damage? With the new epic doctrines give more range, it makes them that much more deadly. It seems like them being out of like danger's way gives them a lot of potential, but do they have a really nice arc? Like, is their arc actually worth, like, do they have a rain? You guys put rain fire on them? Their shots are too slow. They are anti-archer. Are they anti-Falconetti at all? Do you see them killing Falconettis before Falconettis kill them? Is there like better accuracy there that'll allow them to beat Falconettis is a question. Falconetti should not kill longbows. Okay. So they actually can counter one of the stronger meta units. So that actually brings them up a bit. Brings them up quite a bit then. If they can fight against Falconettis, snipe them from wherever they're sitting, that can be huge. But and they're cheaper. They're cheaper than Falconettis, right? So it leaves you room to bring some other good units to the match. So that's good to know. Well, you can't hide Falconettis too well if they have to shoot onto something. That means they're at the ledge of something or they're slightly behind a ledge. That's a fair point, but if the Vassel Longbow can get to them, they could win that fight. Very situational. Yeah, that's fair. Longbowen have a decent arch. Okay, that's also really good. You can snipe Falcos with every archer T3, T4. Falcos have pretty good distance. I don't know about that. I see a lot of people saying B. Vassal equal D part. Falcos in the unit of stalwarts and GG. You can put a lot of archers within stalwarts and then it could be GG. So Vassal A, still B, I'd say C. I think we're averaging out to like B minus here. I still see them in the B section with what you guys are saying. A lot of C's. They're probably the cheapest way to counter Namkhans. Okay. I mean, they're an archer counter. They're a range counter, 100%. So that does give them a huge advantage. For me, I'd put C, but for the cost of leadership, I'd choose not worth. C+. Check their veterancy line, please. Okay, let's take a look at the veterancy really quick. Oh, shit. All right, so let's take a look at Longbowmen. So, they're shield breakers. Oh, this is interesting. What the fuck, man? Why is this? I don't know why I did that. Come on. I don't know why it's doing that. Sorry, guys. Please don't put me in a group. My shit's broken. All right, let's go back to Longbowmen. View details. They have shield breakers. This unit is skilled at penetrating enemy armor and will deal significant damage to heavily armored foes. That's actually interesting. Okay. These guys can penetrate armor? Like, can they penetrate stalwarts? They can. Okay, that actually gives them a buff there. That brings them up a little bit. Is not working this passive? Oh, it doesn't work? Does it work or it doesn't work, guys? Yay, nay? Penetrate is a meme. They track units as they move. No, it does. They penetrate. Okay. Wait, I'm getting mixed here. Nope. They hit Reaper 400 damage. That's pretty good penetration. So let's look at their damage really quick. 1.7k, and then piercing armor pen is 1. So their penetration is pretty low though. Their penetration is pretty low. If you hit it, you can pen. Doesn't work. I don't see longbows killing T4 infantry. Just need to hit. They track units wherever they go. Longbow, low DPS. The further you are, the more time it takes for arrows to deal damage because long term. Easy to kill because no protection. That's fair. Longbow equal disband. Oh, bird. They track units wherever they go. Okay, their shield breaking trait is accurate in the same way as anti-cav is accurate on. Okay, thank you, Longfoot. That's they. All right, so they track units. All right, so they track units. They're long range. This unit has a relatively long shooting range and skill at suppressing the enemy at distance. Okay, So they have the range advantage. The damage is lacking big time here. So let's check the veterancy. It looks like a maximum range increased by 15%. Armor pen, critical value, maximum range another 15%. Holy shit. Each level increases ammo by 10. So they get a huge ammo boost there. Reduces rate of fire by 10%. Increases firing accuracy. Okay, not bad. Here's a bunch of defense. Increases damage in sieges. I don't know if you go bottom line at all, but it looks like you go top line. So they get a little bit of damage there. They're definitely lacking on damage. Definitely lacking. And they are worth how much? 250 leadership. Holy shit, they're expensive. That's going to drive them down a bit. So who was saying C, B? Let's take a look again. Yeah, that drives them down a bit, guys. Let's be honest. Let's talk about this. I'm saying B or C. What do you guys think? B or C? Let me see. That was a pun. I didn't mean for that to happen. B minus at least, B, 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 low B, C, maybe D. Ooh. Okay, you guys aren't making this easy. Fuck. I just looked at the unit tree. Oh, the unit tree buffs. We can look at that, but I mean, of course you can look at that. You're gonna use a lot of you're gonna be using a lot of honor for all that stuff. Just really quick, we'll look really quick, just to make you happy. Oh wait, hold on, right here. So you get accuracy here, right? Oh no, rate of fire. So you get 20% rate of fire here. Increases piercing damage, and the piercing damage isn't what I'm worried about. It's the penetration. Here you get the piercing penetration, 20% increase. That's actually pretty high. So if they're at 1k, 20% would be 200, which isn't too impressive. That's not super impressive. That's from base, by the way. That's not from their veterancy. That's off base. So it's only 200 pen. It's not bad, but they're not over 2,000. Like, I like seeing stuff closer to 2,000 if possible. Like Pavise are what? Yeah, look at this. Pavise are 2.4k penetration. This is why they kill heroes. So the issue I see here is they don't have high kill potential on heroes. They don't. And then their piercing damage is pretty high. And they're worth how much more? 325. So they're only about 70 more for Pavise. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put them in D. No, I'm just kidding. I'll put them in C. Their range gives them an advantage. I will give them a C for that. They are lacking damage. So we will put them in C. All right, last one. Zykalian Militia. These guys are garbo. Their range isn't horrible. They can do damage to shield units, but honestly, who's bringing this as a T3? I'd rather bring Jannisaries, Namkhans, any of this stuff. Rattan Marksmen. Like, I would bring any of this stuff. The only huge advantage that they have is they can kill shield units. That's the biggest thing I see. Yeah, they're a good troll unit, I would say, 100%. I see Zykalian being like a fun unit to play. It's not, you're not bringing it to territory war. You're barely ever bringing it to sieges. Blue balls OP, tell them fine. And people trembled to the sights of Zykalian. It sucks because they just came out too, and they never really had a place. They should buff them or something. Give them some more range or something, or defense. But I'm gonna go ahead and say they're maybe they're worth because they can do damage to shield units. That's it though. All right, guys. Are they D or are they not worth the barrack slot? Help me. D or not worth the barrack slot? Man, can I give him a jacket? D minus, not worth. Zykalian, how much are they worth? Let's take a look. I have them. 175. They're only 5 leadership less than Namkhan. Oh, gross. Yeah, that's a D special. I honestly think they fall right into D category just because they have potential of killing shield units. They actually kind of have a place, but not really. No one's really using these guys. They're too squishy. They run out of ammo, but they are fun to, like, you know, troll shield units. That's it. So I'll give them a D for that. All right, we are officially done. This is the tier list that we ended up with. I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording and just thank you guys for all your help. Chat, you guys are amazing. I appreciate it so much. But if you guys enjoy this, you know, make sure to follow the YouTube channel. If you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe. All right.